Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the application of flip-flop. In the previous lecture we already discussed about the various flip-flop, SR flip-flop, JK flip-flop, D flip-flop, T flip-flop, and in the previous lecture we also discussed about how to convert one flip-flop to the other flip-flop. So in this lecture we will discuss about the one application of the flip-flops, that is the registers. So registers are basically combination of the various flip-flops. Flip-flop is used to store one bit of data, while the registers are used to store more than one bit of data. So now we will discuss, or now we will start our next topic, that is our registers. Now our next topic is registers. So registers are used basically to store a group of data. So it is used to store a group of data. Flip-flops are used to store one bit of data. So if we want to store a group of data, then more than one flip-flops are used. So here registers are the combination of the flip-flop. So basically in the registers all flip-flops are cascading of each other. So that's why we can store more than one bit of data here. So to store n bit of data we need the n flip-flop. Similarly, if we want to store 4 bit of data, then we need the 4 flip-flops, and that register are called the 4-bit registers. If we want to store 3-bit data, then we need the 3 flip-flops, and that register is called the 3-bit registers. So for storing n bit data, we need n flip-flop. So depending on the input and the output, registers are classified into 4 types. That is, first category is serial input, serial output. So these classifications are based on the type of inputs and the output. Fine. So next classification is serial input, parallel output. This is serial input and parallel output. Next combination is parallel input, serial output. Next classification is parallel input, parallel output. So these classifications are based on the type of inputs and the output. So now we will study over the first classification, that is over the serial input, serial output. So here we will study the 4-bit serial input output. So here the 4-bit serial input output means we need the 4 flip-flop, or the 4-bit serial input serial output can store the 4 bit of data. So basically the serial input serial output register is the cascading of the 4 flip-flops. So in the registers, generally we are using the D flip-flop for storing of the data, and for the registers we need the D flip-flop. So now first we will study the diagram or block diagram of the 4-bit serial input serial output register. Then we will study how we give the inputs and how we get the outputs in these registers according to the clock pulse. Now we will study our first shift register, that is the serial input serial output. In the serial input serial output, as the name suggests, input is given to the serially and also we got the output serially. So that's why it is called the serial input serial output. So here we are studying the 4-bit serial input serial output registers. It means the 4 flip-flops are used to design this serial input serial output 4-bit register. So here in the registers generally we are using the D flip-flops to design this. here in the 4-bit serial input serial output registers, 4 D flip-flops are cascaded to each other like this. This is one D flip-flop, this is second D flip-flop, third D flip-flop, and this is our fourth D flip-flops. And here I am saying D3, this is Q3 first output of our this first D flip-flops, and this is Q3 bar. This is I am saying G2, Q2 and Q2 bar. This is G1, Q1 and Q1 bar. This is G0, Q0 and Q1 bar. Here's now these are the all 4 flip-flops. So here's all the 4 flip-flops are connected to the one clock, and basically now this is which clock, level triggered or the S triggered, as this symbols. This is symbol for the S triggered flip-flops. So here's this is our clock, and this is the synchronous clock. Why synchronous clock? Because all the flip-flops are connected with one clock, and this clock is also the positive S triggered clock here. Fine. And this is over the serial input here. Serial input means the input is propagated serially from the output. This is the meaning of serial input, serial output registers. Now this Q3 is propagated to the next flip-flop, Q2 is propagated to the G1, and Q1 is propagated to the G0, and this is over the serial output. Fine. So now I am saying this is our clock. This is first cycle, second cycle, this is third cycle, fourth cycle, fifth cycle, and so on. Fine. So this is our complete one cycle here. So I am saying this is first cycle here, this is second clock, this is third clock, this is fourth clock, and this is our fifth clock. Fine. So now we will study the working of this serial input serial output register. So here I am saying this is our clock, and this is input data, and these outputs, this Q3 is the output of the first flip-flops, Q2 is the output of second flip-flop, Q1 is the output of third flip-flops, and Q0 is the output of our next flip-flop. So what happens here in the clock 0, suppose here I am assuming our serial input data is 1011. So first in the first cycle or before the clock is applied or the 0th clock cycles, we need to reset all these flip-flops to initially at 0th position. You know how to reset all these flip-flops? We already studied the preset and the set pins, input pins. So by using preset and the set pins, first we have to reset all these pins to 0, or sometimes this reset pins is also called the clear pins. So by using preset and the clear pins, we have to reset all these flip-flops to the 0th position like this. So here we assumed our input data is 1011. Your input data may be any bits like 1011, 0101, 000, 0111, 111, anything, any combination of ones and 0. So what happens in the first clock at this stage? What happens at this edge? So at this edge, this first input, in the D flip-flops, Qn plus 1 is equal to the D here. So means this Q3 should be equal to the D3. When the first clock is applied, this 1 is propagated to the Q3 here. Fine. So here I am saying the delay of this clock is TCLK, or the clock cycle or the clock period is TCLK. Fine. So in the first clock cycle, this 1 is propagated to the Q3 here. Fine. And what happens? This 0 is propagated to again here, because it's already 0 here. This 0 is propagated to here, and this 0 is propagated to here. This 0 is propagated to the here. Fine. So what happens in the first clock? This in the second clock, what happens? This 1 is propagated to the hairs, and this 1 is propagated to the, because here's the 1 comes, now this 1 is propagated to this Q2 hairs like this, and this 0 is propagated to hairs, next 0 is propagated to the hair. In the third clock cycle, what happens? This 0 comes here, 0, this 1 is propagated to the next, this 1 here, and now again this 0. In the fourth clock cycle, what happens, this MSB bit is comes at position Q3, and this 0 goes position at Q2, again this 1 here at Q1, and this one goes to the this one. So what is this? This is your the input data. So here we can say after 4 clock cycles, all this serial input is stored in this register. So how many clock cycle is needed here? Here the 4 clock cycle is needed for serial input operation. So if I am saying n bit serial input, serial output, so how many clock cycle is used for input operation? So here's the for input operation. Here in the 4 bit serial input, serial output, 4 clock cycles are needed. So for the n bit serial input, serial output, n clock cycles or n clock pulse is needed for the input operation. And you know that this is here, this is our serial output. So after 4 clock cycles, we already get this 1 here at Q0 position. So in the next clock pulse, we got the again 1 here. In the next clock pulse, we got this 0 here, and in the next clock pulse, we got against the 1 here. So how many clock cycle is needed for the serial output operation? You know that after 4 clock pulse cycles, we already get the 1, and the next 3 clock, after next 3 clock cycles, we got the 1 0 1 1. So total number of clock cycles needed for the output operations here are the 3, because 4 are used here for the input operation, next 3 is used for the output operation. So total number of clock cycle here used for the complete input output operation, that is the 7. So for n bit serial input, serial output, for output operation, if it is asked for only the output operation, then it is the n minus 1 clock, and for input operation it is the n clock, and for the total input and the output operation it is n plus n minus 1 clock cycle is needed for complete input and the output operation. Fine. So this is very important, number of clock cycles for input and the output operations here. So here's if I am saying the delay of, what is the delay for the input? So basically I can say the delay for the input operation is, can you please tell me, there are n clock cycles and this is the time period of the first clock cycles. So total delay is NTCLK for the input operation, and for the output operation, can you tell me, this is the n minus 1 TCLK. Fine. So this is the total delay. So basically this serial input, serial output registers is also used to provide the delay to the input data, because for the output we need the 7 clock cycles in the 4 bit serial input, serial output register. So 7 clock cycle means the 7 TCLK is the delay for propagating this serial input to the serial output. Fine. So next we will study over the next classification of our registers, that is the serial input, parallel output. So we also can take one example here. So I am saying this is our so how many clock pulse is needed for this propagating of this input to the output? So you know this is over the serial input, serial data, because here the input is given to this serially to the this first flip flop, this is second flip flop, this is third flip flop, this is fourth flip flop, and this is our serially the output. So you know the for the output input operation we need that, because it is for 4 bits, so we need the 4 plus 4 minus 1. So total 7 clock pulse is needed for propagating of this input to the output. So next we will study over the next flip flop, that is over the serial input, parallel output. As the name suggests, here the input is given serially and the output we are getting the parallel output. So similar to the CISO, in the CIPO also we will study the 4-bit CIPO. Fine. So similar to the CISO, in the 4-bit CIPO we use the 4D flip-flop. Here the input is given serially and the output we are getting the parallelly. So first we will study its diagram. So this is over the first flip-flop, this is second flip-flop, third flip-flop. These all are the 4 flip-flop. So here I am saying D3, so this is basically we are saying 4 flip-flop. So this is D3, this is Q3, D2, Q2, D1, Q1, D0 and the Q0. This is Q3 bar, this is Q2 bar, this is Q1 bar and this is Q0 bar. Fine. So this is over the serial input and this is I am saying this is our clock. So one synchronous or the parallel clock is given to the all the flip-flops like this, and similar to the CISO, this clock is the S triggered clock and here there is no bubble, so that's why it is called the positive S triggered clock. So here's also this Q3 is given to the here and this is here and this is here and this is here. Now this is similar to the CISO, but what is the difference? Here the input in CISO and CIPO is same serial input, but here in this CIPO we are getting the parallel output. So this is our first output, second output, third output, fourth output. So these all 4 are over the parallel output. So this is the difference between CISO and the CIPO. Here, can you please tell me how many clock cycle is needed for the input operation similar to the CISO? Here, because input is given serially, so similar to the CISO, here the 4 clock cycles are needed for the input operation. 5. So for the n bit, how many clock cycles? For the n clock cycle is needed for the n bit CIPO input operation. Fine. So suppose our serial input data is 1011. Fine. And after 4 clock cycles, what is Q3 here? It becomes 1011. So how many clock cycle is needed for the output operation here? Can you please tell me? Because all these Q3 are connected directly to the output. This is Q2 is connected directly to the output. This Q1 is directly to the output. This is directly to the output. So for the output, 0 clock cycle is needed for the output operation. Fine. So total number of clock cycle is used for the CIPO operation. That is the n clock cycle is used for this CIPO operation. Fine. So this is the difference between CISO and the CIPO operation. So sometimes this serial input is also called the temporal data or the temporal code, and this parallel output is sometimes also called the spatial code. Fine. So this CIPO is used to convert this temporal code to the spatial code converter. Fine. So here the delay, total delay of the CIPO operation is over the n TCLK. Fine. If TCLK is the clock period, then for the n bit CIPO operation we need the n flip-flops and the total delay of the CIPO is the n TCLK. Fine. So now we will study this CIPO by taking one example. So I am saying this is 1011 and this is connected to here by using one other gate, that is NOR gate, and this is connected to here. Fine, and this is our clock. So question is, this is over the CPO register. Fine, and initially it is loaded with 1011 data. Fine. So basically then what is the output data? What is the output data after 3 clock pulse? So we have to find the output data after 3 clock pulse. Fine. So initially it is loaded with 101. So now I can say clock 0. Initially it is 1011. So in the next clock 1. Fine. So this 1 and 1 is given to the node. What will be the output here? Here's the 1 and 1 given to the node. What will be the output? 1 plus 1 is 1, and this is the 0. Next, this 0 comes to this thing. Fine. And this 1 is shifted to the next. This 1, this 0, 1. In the next clock cycles, what happens? This becomes 0 and the 1. Here becomes 0 and the 1. Now 0 plus 1, 1. Again 0 comes here. So 0, 0. This 1 is shifted here, 1, and this 0 is shifted here, 0. Again 1, 0. Again in the third clock cycle, so it becomes 0, 0, 0, and this 1 is shifted here. So this is the data after 3 clock pulse. Fine. So this is the answer. So this type of questions can be asked in the exam, or sometimes this type of questions are asked in your PSU exams or the GATE exams. So next examples we will take. So I am saying this is over the CPO registers, and initially it is loaded with 1110, and the last 2 flip-flops output are connected with the help of the XOR gates and given to the input, and this is over the clock pulse. So now we have to find after how many clock pulse, the same data will be repeated. Fine. So this is initially data 110. So I am saying this is Q3, this is Q2, Q1, and Q0. This is our clock. This data is stored at the initially means the clock 0. So what happened if the first clock is applied here? The first clock means the initially this 10. What is the XOR of 10? 10 means the output is 1 here. So this output is propagated to this Q3, and this 0 comes here. This 1 comes here. Again this 1 comes here. Now this 1 1 XOR of 1 and 1. Here now comes the 1 1. The XOR of 1 1 is basically the 0 here. So 0 comes. This 1 is propagated to this. 1 comes here, and the 1 comes here after 2 clocks. What is the in the next clocks? This 0 is propagated to here. This 1 is propagated to here. This 1 is propagated to there. And at the MSB at the Q3, 1 XOR 1, that is over 0 here. So after the 4th clock pulse, this what is the here? This is 1 XOR 1. Again comes 0. This 0 comes here. 0 comes here, and the 1 again 1 XOR 0. It comes 1. Then here this 0 goes, again 0, 0 XOR 0, it becomes 0, again it becomes 1, it becomes 0, like this. So you know after in the 15th clock pulse, so what happens after the 15th clock pulse, you got the same output. Fine. So it repeats this process up to the 15th clock pulse. So the answer of this question is the 15th clock pulse. Fine. So you can check by taking this 15 clock cycles. Fine. So in the next we will study over the next classification, that is our PIPO, parallel input, parallel output. So as the name suggests, in the parallel input, parallel output, input is given parallelly and also the output we are getting parallelly. So similar to the CISO and SIPO, we are studying this PIPO, 4-bit PIPO. So 4-bit PIPO means the 4 flip-flops or the 4 detached flip-flop is used here for this register. So this is our first flip-flop, this is the second flip-flop, this is the third flip-flop, and this is our the fourth flip-flop. So here the input is given to the parallel. So this is D3, this is Q3, Q3 bar, this is D2, Q2, Q2 bar, this is G1, Q1, Q1 bar, this is G0, Q0, Q0 bar, and this is our clock. Fine. So synchronous clock or the parallel clock is given here also. So this is our the clock. Now what happens? Parallel input. So this is our the input of the first flip flop. This is our input. This is the second input. This is the third input, and this is the fourth input. So this is our the inputs. Fine. And what about the outputs? So this is the input and this is the output. This is the output, and this is the output. So parallel output. So from this circuit diagram, so from this block diagrams, it is clear that input is given parallelly and the output we are getting the parallelly. That's why it is called the parallel input, parallel data. So for the parallel input operation, how many clock pulse is needed? So you know the this is the input operation. So after this is the input of this, this is the input of this is the input. Initially if you are getting, for example, 1 0 1 1 here, fine. So how many clock pulse size? So only the one clock pulse is needed for this input operation, because after one clock pulse Q3 becomes the D3, Q2 becomes the G2, and Q1 becomes the T1 here, and similarly Q0 becomes the D0. So all these operations performed only in one clock pulse. So for the parallel output, right, how many clock pulses needed? Already this Q3 is connected to the output, this Q2 is connected to the output, Q1 is connected to the output. So 0 clock pulse is needed for this output operation. Fine. So in this PIPO, basically there is no shift operation. Fine. While in the SIPO and the CISO there is the shift operation. Fine. So in the PIPO there is no shift operation. So sometimes CISO is also called serial input, serial output register is also called the serial shift right register. Fine, because it serially shifts to the right. Fine, but the PIPO there is no shift operations performed here. But you know this is the temporary storage of the data. So basically PIPO is used for the temporary storage of data in microprocessor or the DSP or the microcontroller. Fine. You know here the only the one clock pulse is needed for the complete operation. So that's why it is also called the fastest. It is also called the fastest register. Fine. So because here only the one clock pulse is needed for the complete operation, that's why it is called the fastest register. Fine. Next we will study over the next registers, that is the parallel input serial output register. So next we will study over the next register, that is the parallel input serial output register. As the name suggests, the input is given to the parallel while the output we are getting the serially. Fine. So this is the 4-bit. So in the 4-bit piece, so similarly we need how many flip-flops? We need the 4 flip-flops here. First flip-flop. This is over the second flip-flop. This is the third flip-flop. Fourth flip-flop. So this is G3, Q3, Q3 bar, this is G2, Q2, Q2 bar, this is D1, Q1, Q1 bar, this is D0, Q0, Q0 bar. Fine. So this is the parallel input, first input, second input, third input, fourth input, similar to the PIPO, and this is over the clock pulse to the piezo. So this is the clock pulse here. Fine. So what happens here? All these black ones are over the parallel input here. So here in the piezo output we are getting the serially. So for this serially output means here we are getting the serial output. How it is possible? See, because here the input is given to the parallelly here, fine, but this inputs to the propagated to the outputs. But how? Because already at that clock pulse this input is given parallelly here. If we directly connect this Q3 here, then it means this Q3 G2 becomes Q3, and what is the purpose of now the inputs here? So in that case we need one extra circuitry, that the mux is needed here in this parallel input serial output. So thus that select line will decide there is an input operation or the shift operation performed. So now I am saying this is over the two input mux. This is I0, this is the I1. Similarly, here the two input mux, I0, I1. Fine. So similarly, I will connect in the 4-bit. We need the 3 mux here. Fine. So this is over I naught, and now I am saying this I naught is over the input. So I remove this input from the here. Now this is our input. Fine. Now this is our input here, and this Q3 is connected to the here, and the output of this mux is connected to the D3, and this I1 is now the input. Fine. This is the input. Also this is the input, and this Q2 is given here, and this is connected to the given. Now this I0 is the input, and this Q1 is connected to here, and the output of this is connected to the here. Fine. So this is over the parallel input serial output mux. Fine. And this is the select line of this. This is the select line of second mux. This is the select line of the third mux. Fine. This is also called the control input. Fine. If our control input is 0, what happened in this case? If this control input is 0, means the select line is 0, then what happens? This I0 is directly connected to here. Fine. So which operation is performed? Parallel input operation is performed. Fine. Or sometimes it is also called the load operation is performed here. So if the control input is 1, then the serial out operation is performed, and this is due to this mux only. Fine. This mux only. If this control input is 1, then this Q3 is directly connected to this G2, and this Q2 is directly connected to this G1, and this Q1 is directly transferred to G0. Fine. So serial output operation is performed when control input is 1, and this operation is also called the shift right operation. Fine. Fine. So how many clock cycle is needed? So for the parallel input, 1 clock cycle is needed basically in 4-bit, and for this serial out, 1 clock cycle here, next clock cycle here, next clock cycle. So for the parallel out, n minus 1 clock cycle is needed for n bit parallel input serial output data. Fine. So this number of cycles needed for the working of the registers is very important. Fine. So in this lecture we already studied the serial input, serial output, serial input, parallel output, serial input, serial output, serial input, serial output, serial input, parallel output, parallel input, serial output, parallel input, parallel output. So for the input operation, for the output operation. So for the serial input, serial output, for the input operation n clock cycle is needed. For the output operation n minus 1 clock cycle is needed. For the serial input parallel operation n clock cycle is needed, and for the output 0 clock cycle is needed. For the parallel input serial output 1 clock cycle is needed, and n minus 1 clock cycle is needed for the output operation. For the parallel input parallel output 1 clock cycle is needed for the input operation, and 0 clock cycle is needed for the output operation. So this number of clock cycle is very important from the exam point of view. Fine. So in the next lecture we will study about the most important topics of sequential circuit, that is our counters. If you have any query in the registers, then you can send me a mail. Thank you for your kind attention. So for more video update, please subscribe this channel. Fine, so that every information regarding your course or regarding this digital electronics lectures you can get easily. Fine. Thank you for your attention.